Hey, long time no see. I've been out of the country, then came back into the country, but I'm not in my city. I'm at my parents' place. I'm at HQ. So I know it's been long, and this video for this poem should have gone out like a while ago, but I've just been settling, trying to figure out if I actually want to film in a different setting. I'm not quite sure if the setting works, but I'm gonna give it a go. So, I think we're on our fourth poem of the Adherence poetry series, and I'd already posted the text of it. So today we are going to do two poems again. I'm gonna try and keep it not too brief, but brief enough. Um, the poems I'm gonna be doing is called Paint the Town Blood, and the other one's called Pneumonia. And I think I'll start with the new poem and then the old poem and then go back to the new poem, because I feel like the old poem is a consequence that came out of the actions from the new poem. That makes sense. So I wouldn't want to read it first. It would be not in chronological order. So let me see some context. I wrote this poem sort of as a remembrance to my first year, second year, not so much third year, but varsity days. I don't have many vices as a person. Like, I don't drink much, I don't smoke at all. I'm not, because obviously of my status, being somebody who's, I hope you're not hearing those cars. Oh my gosh, there's like cleaning in these cars. Anyway, I'm not somebody, because of my status, I'm not somebody who could afford to take the like sexual risks. But my thing has always been dressing up really nice and going out to dance. That was like my thing in first year. I didn't drink, I didn't smoke, I did none of that. But I'd always be up for like going to Rosebank back in the days, just to give away my age. It was like Latin Nova, My Bar, and on the other side of Rosebank, so it was like Liquid Chefs. So I always just loved dressing up and dancing and maybe just entertaining a little bit of male attention, but never following through with it, because at that time I wasn't like, I hadn't figured out sort of like a routine to disclose my status, and I never wanted to follow through anyway, because the only thing I was interested about in terms of like entertainment and joy in my varsity days was just dancing and dressing up. So it's sort of like an ode to those days. However, though I acknowledge that I was just acting my age at the time, I don't think I have like super regrets from the moment. I don't think I did anything super bad. I am, for the most of my most I have been for most of my life a stereotypical good girl. So I wouldn't say there's like any deep regrets or any deep consequences that came from that time, except for the fact that I would deliberately not take my pills, and mostly because of the side effects. So the pills I was taking at that time gave me like a runny tummy, which obviously resulted in diarrhea. And who wants to be like worrying about a runny tummy in your freaking dress while you're trying to dance? So a lot of it, like my remembrance of like purposefully saying I'm not gonna take this pill because I don't have the side effects, came from nights like that. And obviously just not wanting to like take out the pills when my friends are like, my friends at that time, all of them knew about my status, so it wasn't a matter of like keeping it hidden from them. But even when people know about your status, and I'll probably do a video of this, even when people know about your status, they is still so much awkwardness and there's so much heaviness around talking about it or being casual about it. You know, there's still so much weight, even sometimes with family, with taking out the pills. And you know, I don't know, it's like an elephant in a room that sometimes I would like to be casual with it, but maybe I'm projecting. I don't know. I haven't spoken to the people around me that love me, that know my status, as to why they're not more casual about it, why it's not just like mentioned. You know, some of my family members have like diabetes or will have something, and it's mentioned more casually than what mine would be mentioned. So yeah, it's a difficult conversation to navigate, and obviously, as much as my friends love me and they knew my status, I didn't feel comfortable enough to just be like, oh, I gotta take my pills, or oh, guys, in the middle of like Lento, which was one of the big songs at the time, in the middle of like Lento, remind me that I need to take my pills. Like it wasn't one of those things. So I deliberately did not take my pills. And if you watch my interview in Six Faces, I will try and put like a little thing up there so you can watch it. I talk about how not taking your pills over time, HIV can be a very latent virus. It can stay sort of like hidden for a long while. So I went all throughout varsity just being very irresponsible about my adherence, and then it was only when I was like 23, the culmination of all of those deliberate bad don't take your pill decisions came to me in the form of pneumonia. And I got pneumonia in 2016 and I got pneumonia in 2017. And this was obviously a result of my CD4 count being very low and my viral load being very high, because now the virus had sort of like outsmart, even if I wanted to take my pills or start being strict about taking my pills again, my virus had sort of like formed a resistance to the ARVs and kind of, I'll probably need to do another video to explain what resistance is, but they formed a resistance to the ARVs, and basically I was in hospital. I also talk about this experience in my drum magazine feature. Hey! I am so excited. I got featured in a magazine. Unfortunately, it's behind a paywall. So if you really, really, really love me, you will cop out that 75 Rand just so you can read my article. But I also will try and find a way, not too soon, because I think it needs to stay behind the paywall in respect to, obviously, media who's just trying to make money in a context, in an era where print media is dying. So I understand why they do things like that, but I'll try and see if there's a way I can make it accessible, maybe by posting extracts from the article. But yeah, please check that out. I'll put a link in my, where they put links so you can check that out. But I talk about this experience about deliberately not taking my pills and what it resulted in. And that's such a huge introduction. So let's get to the poem. And the poem is, and this is the new one. This is the one that I would have recently posted for the Adherence series. It's called Paint the Town Blood. Okay. I don't know if you guys see it, figure me rude if I, all right, let's put it here. Second. All right. Paint the town blood. Better to be young than alive. The possibility of long life, never as inevitable as death. The rush of Rosebank, better than the running stomach. Side effects of pre-drinks and party, better than the nausea. Puffed up eyes from the night before, rose-tinted glasses of everlasting youth. Purposeful forgetfulness. Deliberate, deathly dancing. I was desired and desirable. I wanted present more than a future. I wanted normal girls' night out. No pause, no pills, no pain. I wanted more cold nights and dim lights, loud music and the grinding, freakum dress and flirty smiles. Painting the town red, painting the town red with blood. All right. So yeah, I don't think I need to get into more explanation than what it is already, because the introduction was quite long. This is the old poem from the art series that I did, and it's called Pneumonia. And obviously, pneumonia is a result, as I said, of sort of irresponsible decisions of not adhering to your medication. Pneumonia. Death is eager. Death lurks and lives. Death is not unfortunate. Death is deliberate. Death is coming for us all. Death waits especially for the weak. Death is an opportunistic, infectious motherfucker. Opportunistic infection. Opportunistic. Okay, let's do it with the proper. Pneumonia. Death is eager. Death lurks and lives. Death is not unfortunate. Death is deliberate. Death is coming for us all. Death waits especially for the weak. Death is an opportunistic, infectious motherfucker. Right, that's pneumonia. Okay, so I said I was going to do the new poem again, but I actually think I'll cut it off here because I think it's just that's a really just ending. Death is an opportunistic, infectious motherfucker. I think that's a great ending. And thank you for listening. It's been a bit of a mess of filming. I don't even know if this picture's stew or if my camera's stew. If you had to see the setup right now, you would be laughing because I forgot my stand back in Durban, but we're doing the best out of a inconvenient situation. And yeah, so thank you very much. So yeah, I've spoken a lot. I've spoken very fast. And it's been a bit of a mess, but we made it, kept it cute. You came, you saw, conquer.